Alright everyone, welcome back to another video. Last time we left off here showing many of the attacked famous parts of London. We're now on to here. Just making sure, actually. Yep, we're on here. South African Premier visits his troops. October to November 1940. General Smuts in the field. Okay. Really an unfortunate name. In October and November, General Smuts made a tour of inspection of South African troops at their advanced training camps in East Africa, where they were preparing for forthcoming operations against Italians in Abyssinia, Eritrea, and British Somaliland. The pictures show above troops giving the premier a rousing reception after hearing a speech from him during his visit. Below, part of a troop-carrying convoy of highly mechanized South African units in Kenya. There we see up top, it's troops giving their premier a rousing reception. I'm sure he was very appreciative of that. And here below is troop convoy. Part of a mechanized one in South Africa. Greeks slow down the Italian invaders. November 1st to 2nd, 1940. Italian advance in Greece held. Italian troops that invaded Greek territory had been promised an easy victory by the Duce. But within the first few days, they were to learn that they were opposed by a brave and resolute enemy who could take full advantage of the difficult and rugged country. The pictures taken during the early days of the campaign show above Italians retreating along a mountain road after a Greek counterattack, and below Greek infantry on the march to take up their positions in the line. So here we see the Italians are retreating. They left behind a, I'm assuming, deceased animal because it was no longer able to carry on. And here we see the Greeks getting ready in position. Yeah, the Greeks hold a mighty defense against the Italians, who, by all rights, were more advanced, more numerous, I believe, even. But it didn't matter. The Greeks understood their country, and they were ready to fight it no matter what. Eventually, the British come and help. I'm sure we'll get to that. But the British come and help, and so the Greeks put up a great fight until the Germans basically come in and steamroll them. British rally to the support of an old friend. November 2nd, 1940. British support for invaded Greece. Oh, I literally just was talking about this. Before the war began, Britain and France had promised to aid Greece if attacked. Britain's promise was at once kept, and air and land forces were disembarked in Greece and Crete to support her struggle for freedom. The pictures show, top left, British troops and tanks being blessed by a Cretan bishop as they pass through a town in the island. Bottom, crowds in a Greek town watching a newly arrived British mechanized column. Top right, General Sir Archibald Wavell, in center, visiting a gun position in course of erection, by British troops. Bottom, RAF personnel with their kits are shown arriving in Greece. Ooh, we're seeing the next page a little bit too in there. That's not very good. Yeah, that's okay. So up here, top left. Let's go, top left. British troops and tanks being blessed by a Cretan bishop. And there's the bishop. I will have to say, sorry if anyone has offense to this religion. Stop talking a little bit. But the Eastern Orthodox, they know how to dress their bishops and things like that. They have some like major outfits. Okay, I always find that the Eastern Orthodox has some of the not goofiest, but the most like interesting outfits, I think. Okay, and then. But yeah, they're getting blessed by a Cretan bishop. In the bottom here, we have the British mechanized unit passing through a town. All the people watching the mechanized unit, they're probably like, oh, hey, look, here's our allies. They're coming to help. Here we have General Archibald Wavell, or Sir Archibald, General Sir Archibald Wavell, visiting gun positions, making sure they're up to snuff and things like that, I'm sure. And then at the bottom right here, we have British RAF personnel with their kits just arriving in Greece. No German troops prepare for the invasion of Britain. Funny mustache man threatens but doesn't come. Okay. Continual threats of an imminent invasion of Britain appeared in the German press and the speeches of German leaders and German land forces trained intensively for the difficult job of getting and keeping a foothold on British shores. Left, known German soldiers are scaling cliffs over terrain such as they would meet on the English and Scottish coasts. A light gun team are seen hauling their weapon. I've seen hauling up their weapon right above. Goering with left, General Justronek, Chief of the German Air Staff, and right, Air Force General Lutzer, making plans with the aid of a map for an attack on Britain. Below, a heavy bomb, which will fall on some British target on its way to be loaded at an airfield in France. Okay, so here we see the German troops training. Yeah, obviously the Britain is very hilly, very mountainous, really. So you'd have to make sure your troops are prepared for that terrain so that they're even able to get a foothold. If they can't get up the walls, they're stuck on the beaches. That's just a kill box, really. You don't want that. That will be the end of those troops and the end of your foothold. And potentially could put you in a spot where they could counter invade because you just lost all those troops. Right here we see Goering. And Goering is the left. There's Goering. I think. Right above. I don't know. Goering's up there. General Czechsenek, Chief of the German Air Staff. Yeah, we see all of them up there. It's pretty neat to see. Obviously, they're making sure that they have the plans ready in case they actually do get this plan off. And there we see a bomb being sent to a airfield in France to be loaded in. And those guys look like they're having the time of their life. Especially that guy riding the bomb. He's like, hell yeah, this is going to be fun. Obviously, what they're sending this to is not very fun, but, I guess at least they're having fun, right? Italian armies retreat before the Greeks in Albania. November 4th to 9th, 1940. Italian advance halted. The Italian thrust into Greece towards Salonika. I knew. I just had to word it out there. Was held 3 miles over the frontier. And within a few days, Greek troops counterattacking hurled the enemy back into Albania. By November 5th, Koritsa was within range of Greek mountain artillery. Meanwhile, 2 Italian attacks further west, designed to encircle Yanina, were brought to a standstill by the Greeks. The pictures show, top left, Italian troops in full retreat, their mechanized transport abandoned, urging on a mule wagon. Bottom left, engineers build a temporary bridge to replace one destroyed by the RAF. Top right, light tanks captured by the Greeks, who used them against their former owners. Bottom right, caption Italian mortars. So the top left here, that's the mechanized, and they're running for it. I mean, look at them. They're hauling. They're getting like, we gotta get out of here. And they dropped their mechanized. They said, screw it, we're just gonna have donkeys because they're a little bit better for the terrain because they can get maybe a better foothold, things like that. We see them quickly building a bridge because the RAF destroyed the previous one. We see captured light tanks. So the Italian light tanks used by the Greeks going like, yeah, we got some light tanks now. Using them against the Italians, who used to be in charge of them. And here we see a bunch of captured Italian mortars. Yeah. Italian reverse in East Africa, November 7th, 1940. Fort Galabat. I almost said Gibraltar. Fort Galabat captured. Fort Galabat, a post of the Abyssinia-Sudan frontier, was taken by the Italians in July. Early in November, however, British and Indian troops launched an attack on the post, which changed hands several times before falling to the British on November 7th. The Italian forces retreating towards Metema, harassed by aerial bombardment. The picture shows top, British troops in possession of the fort on a lookout for enemy movements. Below, artillery are shelling the fort before its final capture. There we go. We see them. They're waiting for, making sure they're looking out for any enemy counterattack, basically, or just movements in general. They want to know what the Italians are doing in case they need to either A, counterattack the counterattack, or B, leave if they really need to. And here we see that artillery attacking right before they took the fort. The Italians joined in the Battle of Britain, November 11th, 1940. Italian planes over Britain. On Armistice Day, Britain received the first large-scale visit from the Italian Air Force. Between 15 and 20 bombers that appeared over the Thames estuary, escorted by about 60 fighters, were routed by 2 Hurricane squadrons, who shot down 8 bombers and 5 fighter planes without loss to themselves. 2 of the planes, a Caproni bomber above and a Fiat CR-42 fighter below, both of which crashed in Suffolk, are here shown. The remainder of the Italian formation fled. So here we see the Caproni bomber crashed after it been shot down, and there's the Fiat CR-42. And yes, that is the same Fiat that you're probably thinking of. But yeah, the British RAF, amazing fighters, and obviously there was more than just British. There was Polish and French troops, I believe, as well, that were basically part of the RAF. But they're not talking about them here, but they did help in this defense, and they did amazingly. But yeah, that's going to be it for this video. If you guys liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a comment. Tell me what I could improve on. It's always great to get your feedback. Thank you.